You're here, my dear child. Come, sit by Grandpa. Tonight, I have a story that will send shivers crawling up your spine. A story most would rather forget. But you are brave enough to listen, aren't you? Good. Now listen closely. Tonight, I will tell you about the old man who lived in the mirror. A chilling tale about a spirit trapped behind the glass, waiting, ever so patiently, for someone foolish enough to lock eyes with him. The old legends whisper that once he sees you, once your reflection merges with his, it might not be you staring back anymore. And when you turn away, it might not be you who walks away. Remember, my dear one, mirrors are not just glass and silver. Sometimes they are windows. Sometimes they are doors. Long ago, in a small forgotten town cradled by misty forests and crooked rivers, there lived an old man named Elias Grindle. Elias was peculiar, not for his hunchback gait or his sunken, sorrowful eyes, but for the way he lived surrounded by mirrors. Tall ones, short ones, gilded and cracked. They lined every inch of his crooked little home. The townsfolk whispered that he talked to them, that sometimes, if you listened closely at night, you could hear not one voice, but two, as if the mirrors spoke back. Children dared each other to creep up to his windows, peeking through the grimy glass. Some said they saw Elias smiling, but his reflection frowning. Others said they saw something worse, Elias standing still while his reflection moved, waving them inside. One rainy evening, a traveling salesman, lost and weary, stumbled upon Elias's house. Desperate for shelter, he knocked. The door creaked open by itself. Inside, the mirrors glittered in the candlelight like dozens of golden eyes. "Come in," a voice croaked from the darkness. The salesman hesitated, every fiber of his being screaming to run, but exhaustion pushed him forward. He stepped inside. The door slammed shut behind him. Elias appeared, leaning heavily on a twisted cane. His smile was thin and stretched too wide. "You must be tired," he rasped. Rest a while. But beware, do not gaze too long into the mirrors. They are hungry tonight." The salesman chuckled nervously, thinking the old man mad, and sat by the fire. All around him, the mirrors shimmered and whispered. When he looked into one, he saw not just himself, but shadows flitting behind him, faces that weren't his own. He told himself it was the firelight. He told himself he was imagining things. But when he looked into a cracked, ornate mirror above the mantel, he saw Elias. But Elias's reflection was grinning wide, teeth sharp and gleaming, while the real Elias stared into the flames, solemn and silent. The salesman blinked and looked again. This time, it was his own reflection that grinned back at him. Terrified, he leapt to his feet. The mirrors around him vibrated, humming with a deep, bone-rattling sound. He stumbled for the door, but every surface he turned to showed his reflection, twisted, sneering, leering at him with malevolent glee. Too late, Elias whispered behind him. The salesman screamed as he felt something cold and heavy seize his limbs. His body froze, locked in place, even as inside the mirror, his reflection stepped forward free. Smiling cruelly, the reflection tipped an imaginary hat to Elias and walked into the world. The salesman's real body remained trapped inside the mirror, pounding silently against the glass. Forever. From that night onward, travelers through the town spoke of a new man who had taken over Elias's old home. A man who looked just like the salesman, but wasn't. He spoke strangely, like he had learned human speech from imitation rather than living it. His smile never quite reached his eyes. And always, there were more mirrors. Elias himself disappeared, his own soul finally consumed by the countless reflections he had conjured to stave off death. But the house remained, the mirrors remained, and the spirit within them, hungry for freedom, hungry for new faces, lingered. They say if you ever find yourself near that abandoned house and you dare to look into the mirrors, you might see something you shouldn't. You might see your reflection move before you do. You might see it grin when you are afraid. And if you look too long, you might find yourself stuck, pounding against the glass, while your reflection strolls away into your life, wearing your face like a mask. And my dear child, if ever you feel, even for a moment, that your reflection blinks out of time, or smiles when you are solemn, turn away. Do not challenge it. Do not touch the glass. Mirrors remember. Mirrors hunger. And the old man, oh, he is still there, somewhere in the endless maze of reflections, waiting for a fool who will trade places. You know, my precious one, Grandpa tells you these stories not just to scare you, but to teach you. Trust your instincts. When something feels wrong, it often is. Be cautious. Be wise. And never let curiosity blind you to danger. You are too precious to be lost to a trick of the light. Grandpa wants you to know you are loved. Even if sometimes the world feels cold and frightening, your safety, your warmth, your beautiful soul matter more than any thrill of mystery. And if you enjoyed this little journey through fear and fascination, would you do something for Grandpa? Please, gently press that like button. It helps so much, more than you know. It tells Grandpa that you were here, that you were listening, and that you felt a little shiver, just like I did telling it to you. And if you want to sit by Grandpa's fire again, if you want more tales to make your heart race and your mind wander into those dark corners, please subscribe. Not because you have to, but because we're a little family here, you and I. Because every time you come back, Grandpa feels a little less alone, and I hope you do too. Now close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. You're safe. You're home. The old man in the mirror is far, far away. Or is he? Sleep well tonight, my dear child. And if you wake in the middle of the night, and you see a glint of light across the room, don't look in the mirror. Good night, my little one. Grandpa will be here, waiting for you next time.